Sure, man. Where are you guys from? Like, what brought you guys into the NFT space, and what got this podcast started?
Wow. Yeah, man. No, I mean, the thing that actually got it started was Ethan. Ethan had reached out to Josh through a group that they're in, and was asking him about, starting an NFT podcast. Like, fundamentally, that's legit what made it happen. Now, Josh and I separately had been talking about doing a podcast. We, for years, have been huge fans of NFTs, but for years, nobody gave a shit about NFTs, right?
Yep.
And it was at that moment that it kind of crossed Ethan's, path that it was coming into the mainstream. So Josh and I were talking about it. We had some experience there. Ethan raised his hand and said, "Hey, let's do something." And within a few days, like 3 days, I think, of him first saying those words, I think we recorded our first episode. I mean, we were moving immediately.
moved fast.
Yeah. Like I connected you guys for a brief chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was on vacation. Ethan had a lot going on. We all had a lot going on, but out of that chat came the name, the Edge of NFT, and I was like, yes. I don't know what you guys, what kind of mind melding that you guys did, but hell yeah, Edge of NFT, let's do this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's in line with a lot of projects that we've seen in the NFT space. I mean, just talking with someone who's doing marketing for Metaplex and Solana, she was saying, I was doing independent stuff, but I got so excited about what's going on with Solana. I wanted to join the team, and then everything's working so smoothly.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of teams that have come together and are just surprised at how smoothly things are going and how much fun they're having working with like a new team in this space.
Yeah, and originally I was going to be behind the scenes working on like producing and sponsorships and that stuff, because it seemed like a little bit sort of quirky to me that we would have 3 hosts, but these guys encouraged me to get in front of the mic with them.
Yep.
And we tried it out, and we asked for feedback from our guests, and they were like, yeah, I like it. Like, they all like it. The feedback has been like, you guys have a format that works. And we, at that moment, I think we felt good about what we could be creating here.
That's huge, man. Yeah, as a content creator, I see that too. Like, no matter how hard I try, you guys would dominate me in any competition, because there's 3 of you. If you're burnt out and don't feel like getting on camera, you still got a team. It's smart and it's good. And then some of the audience might come just to watch you, or just to watch you, or just to watch you. So you have that uniqueness. You got a team of like 3 people that are all into the same thing, and you have the ability to go at a market 3 times, 4 times faster than any single person. So
I think also energetically it works, because there's certain topics that inherently as human beings we're going to be more passionate about and get juiced up about and go a little bit deeper, right? And we have that diversity, that neurodiversity with our backgrounds. Like, I've learned so much from both these cats in the time that we've been in the space. And so we're learning from each other. We're learning from our guests. It's fun.
heck yeah. When did you guys start this?
First show?
End of April was our first
March.
show.
March was first show. Yeah, man. Time
And what's
flies.
your guys' exposure as far as like viewers, listeners, or how does that work for podcasts?
So at this point, what we found is really interesting. So there's multiple levels to take on sort of listenership and audience. And I had been studying the podcasting space, had another podcast for a couple of years before this. And so what's interesting about podcast audiences, it's kind of like a website, right? There's millions of websites at this point, and they all have different purposes. And it really matters that you at least know what your target is. And so we really hit an amazing target. Our audience is composed not only of people all over the world, people in developing countries like China, India, Singapore, tuning in, participating in our contests and things like that, but also key industry players. Like, we have Yatsu of Animoca Brands on the podcast. He's also listening to the podcast and checking it out. We have Scott Page, who came on one of our first episodes, who played saxophone for Pink Floyd and Cheap Trick, and is a technologist in his own right, creating, sort of immersive augmented reality experiences. And he says we're his favorite podcast. So not only do we have like a good amount of listeners, and it's growing probably by 40 to 50% month over month since we started. It's kind of crazy. But we have the selection of listeners. It's a really cool combo for this space. Yeah.
So every day I wake up and I say, hey, Alexa, play Joe Rogan podcast?
Mm-hmm.
How long till I can say, hey, Alexa, play Edge of NFT podcast?
Actually, that's a good question. That's probably just a little. You found like a link in our sort of like distribution. I think it's just a matter of contacting.
You guys know there's no, not that I found anyways, no crypto podcast on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Get
Like
out
I
of here.
say, hey,
Well,
hey Alexa, play crypto podcast.
You should be able
and she
to
grab some random thing that's not crypto. So I don't know if I've never dug down the rabbit hole, but I
you
think
should
you guys,
be able to find us on Amazon Podcasts. But at the same time, I am aware that there's sort of like distribution channels where they will highlight you within that sort of home automation space,
Yep.
right? That's another vertical, which is its own space, which is developing right now. Yeah.
Dude, that's huge, man.
But I think it begs a broader question with podcasting, which is how to make that connection between us and our fans that much deeper and more meaningful. And that's what we're trying to do a lot of different ways, not only with the guests we curate and the contests we do with our guests. We've given away probably $30,000-$40,000 of NFTs. It's pretty wild. We just sent a $7,500 Picasso lithograph to Turkey. And
To our chagrin, we had to pay the
We're still trying to figure out why it was $700 shipping.
But we've learned, we have our email list and everything, but we've also learned in the process that ultimately, like, media has a different role now that NFTs are around than traditionally. And part of that role is co-creating this ecosystem, which is something that we've always tried to do from day one. So we've been working on a Genesis NFT drop that sort of symbolizes what we've learned and what we've created and what we want to create in the future. The best thing about it for me, and I'm really excited about it because I suck at drawing, is that we're using Ethan's own generative artwork that he's created.
That's huge.
Yeah, that just speaks to the way that we like as mentioned earlier. Sometimes I almost think like, just like I have to turn on, my physical strength in my body to go for a run. I have to turn on like my intellectual part of my brain to like do some math or something like that. I feel like we have this mass brain, right? We can turn on, one person, like we can turn on Jeff to do like, top level business stuff.
Yep.
We could turn on Josh to like connect with lots of different types of people in a powerful way. We cannot turn on Josh to remember how to pronounce their names. He will remember their names but not how to pronounce them.
Or to turn on the AV equipment either.
Exactly.
That's not a good use of my.
Yeah. Josh remembers the names. I remember how to pronounce the names.
There
for
you go.
example.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
we have like this sort of mass mind that's really powerful, I think.
And with, Jeff, maybe tell them a little bit about the drop.
Yeah, let's get that drop out there because I think we only got 20 minutes. So let me check that. We might be really
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's two things. Number one, the prelude to our drop is called Spirit Seeds. And these are going to lead to our Living Tree project, right? This is the foundation of everything we're doing, the roots, the trunk, the branches, all the tentacles that reach into the entire ecosystem of Edge of NFT, which is really the NFT space.
Yep.
And everything we're going to do from here on out. So it starts with the seeds. We have 100 seeds. It's a collaboration with Nicole Buffett. She has an amazing project called Spirit Coins. And we've collaborated with her on these 100 seeds. It's amazing. Each one designed by Ethan, generative design, 8-bit design, but very cool.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, I saw them.
And we're
They're
gonna,
sick.
with Nicole. So first of all, she's reimagining currency, right? And she sees the way that art is becoming a currency, and we're like taking that on as part of our ethos that we're doing. We're offsetting carbon for each one of these that's minted. You're going to offset carbon emissions for one individual American,
That's awesome.
24 metric tons. And then we're going to give away a VIP ticket to our conference that's coming up in Q1 of 2022. We're going to give special privileges to folks who own these. They're going to get one of our trees, one of our living trees. And the living tree itself will plant 25 trees.
There you
and
go,
then each
man.
time you would trade a living tree, then 2.5% of that goes back to planting more trees. And so like basically the general ethos of all of this is co-creating the space as we already have been doing, but giving people a token that they can hold that really shows like you are a part of this, and you know you can claim that token for special privileges.
And here's the thing, right? There's only 100 ever going to be made. And, you know, we've been known to throw in some special perks along the way. And sometimes things we do, the giveaway should be selective. It should be like a certain sort of subset of
Right.
our great community.
Yep.
So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if these seed holders get bear some really interesting exotic fruit from holding some of these seeds.
When is the drop?
So we're actually launching it for the seeds right now, right? So there's only 100 seeds, but the
How much
living
are they?
trees will be in early December.
How much are the trees or the seeds?
The seeds are half an ETH each,
Yep.
and the living trees will
Be about 0.055 ETH or so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're finalizing the details on the trees themselves. Again, it's all for us about co-creation, so it's going to enable our entire audience to co-create with us.
Will there be a seed tomorrow?
Would you like seed?
Yeah, that's why I just got to go home and move my ETH around, and yeah.
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 We got
We
you,
can
brother.
keep one with your name on it if
Okay.
you like.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
absolutely. And
I want to show it off in my streams and shit. So.
Yeah,
it's worth mentioning, you know, how honored we are that Nicole Buffett, one of the premier NFT artists, Fortune's one of the top 50 influencers in the space, decided to collaborate with her. And we met at an event like this, and you know, we felt that chemistry, similar to the chemistry we felt joining the show. And you know, she's just all about art as a new form of currency.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
about co-creation. And so a lot of her projects help various nonprofits and you know, she's working with Charity Water. She's all sorts of cool stuff in the space. And you know, we're just super honored and privileged that she decided to co-create this sort of thing to celebrate both her projects and our projects and how we both love co-creation.
Dude, I love it, man. And
Yeah,
I'm honored to be on your show too. So thank you guys very much for having me on.
Yeah, and we're pumped to have a full episode and we can chat. And
Yeah,
bullshit,
man,
you
I'd
know,
love to
for a
bring you
long
guys
time.
back on. That lady just came over and said we
power
got
us
5 minutes. So
Yeah,
I should
we're
wrap
gonna
it
get in
up,
trouble.
but
So
thank
it's
you
all
guys so much, man. It's really an honor. And let me grab your information.
Yeah,
and then you guys
absolutely.
can text me. And then where do I get these seeds? On OpenSea?
We
You can
do,
talk to us directly.
yeah.
We'll set you up.
Okay,
We'll
perfect.
make sure it happens.
What about my viewers that might be interested?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have actually.
We'll give you info.
Yeah, spiritseeds.xyz is the website.
Spiritseeds.xyz.
Yeah.
Perfect. And where are you guys most active at? On Twitter, Discord, Telegram?
Yeah, so Twitter's been our go-to historically, right? I mean, we're just the space we're in at Edge of NFT. You can subscribe to our podcast at Spotify, iTunes. Our YouTube channel at Edge of NFT is also available if you like video content, which your viewers might,
Yep,
because
for
they're
sure.
into the video stuff.
And we'll link everybody in through our Discord for
Perfect.
the Living Tree drop as
Great.
well.
I'll have them sliding across the screen
Yeah.
too. So when we're
Amazing.
talking like this, so perfect, guys.
Cool, brother.
Honor, man.
Appreciate
Thank you guys
it,
so
man.
much.
Honored as well, man.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your time,
Hats,
Ryan.
too, if you guys-